Haryana especially has been a very close fight. I want to show you on the election intelligence dashboard what the picture in Haryana looks like at 6 p.m. this evening. Remember, now it's very clear that the BJP is comfortably placed to form the next government in Haryana. Even though it's short of a majority, unable to form that government by themselves, they will get independents and some of the smaller parties to support them. Overall, when it comes to vote share percentages, the BJP has actually increased its vote share by 4%, the Congress by at 29%, and all the others together are at 34%. What I will show you next is the margin calculator for Haryana. If you see, out of the 90 seats of Maharashtra at this time, there are 3 seats where the gap between the number 1 party and the number 2 party is less than 1,000 votes. That's Ateli, Sirsa and Thane, sir. These are the 3 seats where the gap between the winner and the party coming in at number 2 is less than 1,000. So Gopal Khanda is winning in Sirsa. Gokul Setia of the INLD is at 44,319. Gopal Khanda, the controversial minister, is at 44,915. So that is less than 1,000. I'll show you now how many of these candidates are leading with a margin of less than 5,000. So there are 22 such seats. 22 such seats out of 90. The BJP is leading in 9 of those. The Congress is leading in 9 of those. Others leading in 4. We'll show you how rural Haryana voted. If you look at how rural Haryana voted, out of the 79 seats for which we have data, 32 leads for the BJP, 27 for the Congress, 20 for others. In urban Haryana, though, the situation was far more comfortable for the Bharatiya Janata Party. In the 11 urban seats of Haryana, 8 leads to the BJP, 3 to the Congress. I want to show you now the strike rate graphics, and this is important to understand how the parties have done in retaining the seats that they held. We'll start with the BJP. Out of the 47 seats that they held, the BJP has been able to retain only 35 seats. That's 25 seats. That's only 53% retain ratio. They've lost 22 seats. That's a 47% loss ratio. 14 of those seats going to the Congress, 8 to the others. That's, from a BJP perspective, not a good retain ratio. Clear signs of anti-incumbency working against the BJP in Haryana. I'll show you now the strike rate of Haryana. Okay, so this basically means that they have a 44% strike rate. They've picked up 44 seats. 44% of BJP candidates in Haryana have won. I'll run the same thing in Maharashtra to give you a sense of how close the Maharashtra battle has been. It's not been as bad as the Congress-NCP would have thought. So actually, if you look at the results from Maharashtra, especially the NCP has actually put up a fight. It hasn't been a capitulation. At this time, around 6 p.m., 9 out of the 288 seats of Maharashtra are being won by a margin of less than 1,000. 6 of those leads are to the Sena and the BJP, 2 to the Congress, 1 for the others. 6 leads for the BJP. I'll show you how many of these seats are being won with a margin of less than 5,000. Out of the 288 seats, 41 seats being won with a margin of less than 5,000. 21 of those to the BJP-Sena, 14 to the Congress-NCP. So that's interesting as well. I want to bring in a quick word from some of our guests. Shankar Iyer joins us. Sandeep Shastri joins us as well. Shankar, it's interesting in Maharashtra, the Shiv Sena now flexing its muscles, demanding that the Chief Minister's post be put out in rotation. 2.5 years for the BJP, 2.5 years for the Sena. Will the BJP accept that?
Well, one of the things that I picked up while on my way to the studio was I was speaking to a lot of the winners in the BJP, and they were sort of dismayed that while they have done well and the party has done okay, now they have to face the what they call the Haftagiri of the Shiv Sena on the way to power, and they are very concerned about the consequence of this 2.5 plus 2.5 years, because it will result in instability of governance, continuity, processes. The team will change. It may be
inevitable. They're only at 100 seats. So unless they're willing to do business with the NCP, they can take 55 seats of which the NCP has. Otherwise, there is no option. They will have to give the Sena a better deal than they gave last time.
But they seem to be convinced that between Devendra Fadnavis and Amit Shah, they will convince Uddhav Thackeray of an alternate formula, and that alternate formula, as we speak, is being carved out, which would be probably sharing of a few more portfolios, probably offer Aaditya Thackeray a deputy chief ministership. They might probably suggest, one of the suggestions is that he should come in as deputy chief minister, because he's held no administrative post ever, and so that he could sort of break his teeth into it, or cut his teeth into the hard task of administration, and probably move on from there.
Okay, I want to welcome our reporters who are joining us at this time. Boots on the ground. Kamlesh Sutar joins us from the BJP headquarters in Mumbai. Pooja Shali joins us from the BJP headquarters in the capital. Kamaljeet Sandhu joins us from Raj Bhavan in Chandigarh. Let's go across to Kamaljeet first. So Kamaljeet, Manohar Lal Khattar going to stake claim. Does that mean, is he staking claim on his own behalf as well, apart from the BJP? Is there reasonable certainty that Manohar Lal Khattar will be chief minister, or is that something that the BJP will look at later?
Well, if there was any ambiguity, it was done away with the Home Minister Amit Shah's tweet. He's congratulated Manohar Lal Khattar. So very clearly, he's given that mandate to him. Clearly, some loss of face, because remember, BJP was looking at 75 plus. That's not happened. They've edged towards the majority, but clearly they need some help. This could actually come in from the independent MLAs, has been indicated by BJP sources earlier. It could be the JJP, which could actually hold the key. But in most likelihood, they would just need 3 to 4. That's what we found out. But very clearly, we've been waiting all day. It's almost close to 14 hours since we've been outside Manohar Lal Khattar's residence, and he's not spoken a word. Not a word coming in, not a word going out from there. And yes, now we move location, because he's expected at Raj Bhavan at any point of time. So Satyadev Narayan Arya, the governor of Haryana, is expected to meet him. And yes, once he tenders his resignation, there is door open for his re-election. But clearly, it's the party honchos who put their weight behind Manohar Lal Khattar. But remember, it was also the 5 of their own cabinet ministers in Haryana who've lost the race. So clearly,
getting some images of Aaditya Thackeray now, who the Shiv Sena would like to have as the next Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. The BJP wouldn't have been too pleased about this originally. Now they may be left with no option. That's his mother on the side. Very delighted, of course, that the young man has 129 years old, winning on his own seat in Worli. Now the BJP will have to accommodate the Shiv Sena much more than earlier. It's almost certain that they'll have to give far better portfolios than they gave last time. In fact, Aaditya Thackeray is now speaking to India today. I want to show you what he told us. This is the first time we're hearing from Aaditya Thackeray ever since. Look at him, he's beaming, he's smiling. He's a young kid, he's 29 years old, one of the youngest in the Legislative Assembly of Maharashtra. He's now speaking exclusively to India today. Here it is.
वर्ली विधानसभा क्षेत्र से आदित्य ठाकरे विजय हुए हैं। आदित्य, हमारा सबसे पहला सवाल आपसे यही है कि जीत के बाद आपकी मां का रिएक्शन क्या था?
सभी का रिएक्शन, यानी मां का तो बहुत ही अच्छा था, आशीर्वाद दिए, प्यार, एक गले भी लगाया। लेकिन अभी ये है कि अभी जीते हैं, अभी आगे लेके जाना है काम को। तो दोनों ने यही कहा, माताजी पिताजी ने, कि अभी काम करने के लिए लग जाओ।
माँ का आशीर्वाद बहुत खास होता है। अब आप पॉलिटिकल एरिना में फुल फ्लेजेडली उतर चुके हैं, चैलेंजेस बहुत आएंगे। माँ ने क्या कहा है आपको?
नहीं, काम करने के लिए आशीर्वाद दिए है, और मुझे लगता है कि अभी काम पे उतरेंगे। जो हमने वचन दिए वो हम कर दिखाएंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा है जो 50-50 का फॉर्मूला था वो उसे मानेंगे, यानी मुख्यमंत्री बनने की या डेप्यूटी की तो अब राह आसान हो गई है। सो आर वी सीइंग अ future chief minister in you?
I think all of this is to be answered by the party president. We are all कार्यकर्तास of Shiv Sena. We are following the आदेश of the people and we'll take it ahead.
आप अपनी तरफ से are you ready to take the responsibility?
अभी तो काम करने लग जाते हैं, फिर responsibility जो भी।
आखिरी सवाल आपसे, how are you going to celebrate?
I think with the people.
Are you still in love with MJ?
And celebrate by starting to work.
Are you still a fan of MJ?
Absolutely, he's God.
You know, Kamlesh Sutar joins us. He's one of the key reporters in Mumbai who tracks Maharashtra politics very, very closely. Aaditya Thackeray is smiling, and the reason for smiling is not just that he's won, but also that the BJP is only at 100. They're at least 45 seats away from being able to form the government by themselves. Is this, a not so ideal scenario from the BJP's perspective, that now they have a Shiv Sena who they'll have to give far more respect to, accommodate much more than they did in the last 5 years?
Well, indeed, Rahul, and that's perhaps why even Uddhav Thackeray was all smiles when he took a press conference in the afternoon, and the happiness obviously been seen on Aaditya Thackeray's face as well. The Shiv Sena will be more happy, not for the part that they have the alliance has come back to power, but the alliance with Shiv Sena in a commanding position would perhaps be coming back to power. We spoke to the Chief Minister just a while before when he addressed a press conference here. He said we have all decided, and they'll let us know the formula about how the power sharing is going to be. But this time certainly Devendra Fadnavis was not as exuberant as Aaditya Thackeray was. He wasn't all smiles. The confidence in Devendra Fadnavis's body language was somewhere missing. We've seen Devendra Fadnavis, we've tracked him when he toward Maharashtra, almost 152 constituency, when he took out that Mahajanadesh Yatra, and the confidence in Devendra Fadnavis' face when he said that he'll come back as the Chief Minister was somewhere missing, because he knows well that he doesn't only have the responsibility now to carry a government, but a government with the Shiv Sena in a more demanding role, in a commanding role. Unlike last time, Rahul, the Shiv Sena, BJP had one maximum number of seats, and the Shiv Sena was just needed to fill up the lesser number of seats that was almost close to 12. But this time the Shiv Sena will be needed. And in spite of that fact, the Shiv Sena has been so demanding in the last 5 years. We have seen how Shiv Sena had brought up a new pattern in itself, being in the power, still behaving like an opposition. The Shiv Sena opposed GST, the Shiv Sena opposed demonetization, and every day in Samna we had one or the other article coming against the BJP or BJP leadership. This time the BJP somewhere feels, or perhaps is anticipating, that the trouble is going to be more. So the Shiv Sena's demand, or whatever the Shiv Sena would be coming up, be it the 50-50% seat sharing formula, be it the Deputy Chief Minister's post, or more importantly, key portfolios that
so one person who understands Maharashtra politics well is Shaina NC. She understands all the dramatis persona here. She's very close to Devendra Fadnavis, as also the Thackerays. She's joining us on this broadcast. Shaina, welcome. Now, this is a rather uncomfortable position for Devendra Fadnavis and for the BJP High Command. They would have wanted the Shiv Sena under their thumb, but with the tally reading 101 and 58, you've got the BJP now confronting a situation where they'll have to deal with a far more aggressive, far more demanding Shiv Sena.
Rahul, I think your assessment is wrong. Now, if we go back to 2014, we fought 260 of the 288 seats and we got 122. This time, because of the alliance, we fought only 150 seats, of which we've bagged 102. Now, the reality is that when you have a vote share which is divided within an alliance, obviously if we fought on our own, we would have done even better, but we had committed to Shiv Sena, and this is an alliance of the past 25 years based on a common minimum agenda of Hindutva, the Ram temple, justice to all and appeasement to none. In the current scenario, if you're going to talk about bullying, I don't think that will work, because we are here who have committed, despite the fact that we know after the Lok Sabha, the popularity of the Prime Minister only surged that much more than what it already was. And I do want to say that there were national issues like 370, triple talaq, etc., which may have connected with public, but the work done on ground by Devendra Fadnavis as Chief Minister, whether it is the 22,000 villages that got water, better irrigated land through Jalyuk Shivar, or pension schemes, insurance schemes.
I think the BJP made a mistake in allying with the Shiv Sena, given the fact that the results have ended up the way they have, and the BJP is actually down on its tally from the last time. Will there be some reflection in the BJP that maybe they could have done without the Shiv Sena and done better?
Well, obviously that introspection in a party like ours is always something that happens, because we do know 2 points. One, that Amit Shah ji as party president has ensured that we have reached every polling booth across the length and breadth of our state. In some polling booths we didn't even have one Karyakarta, today we have 25 plus. So we've always been a party that is very connected to the cadre. Sometimes I think the cadre would have expected maybe to fight more seats, and we were only able to fight 150, so that may have been a bit of a disappointment. But if you look at the numbers, the 23 others is really the key factor, because a lot of them are rebel candidates of our own party who are only waiting to come back to home territory. So I think all in all, if we have to do an analysis, Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, and we are the ones who have won. As far as the opposition is concerned, the whole state knows how they looted the state, whether it was the 70,000 crore irrigation scam or the more recently
so we're dealing right now with the
crore,
politics of the result. We'll deal with the charges and the counter charges later. I want to bring in Swapan Das Gupta now, sir. What according to you are the big takeaways? Now that we've had an opportunity to reflect on the trends and they've firmed up, what are the big takeaways for the Modi government and the BJP?
Well, I think for the BJP, I mean, they have reason to be modestly satisfied with Maharashtra. I think the scale of the disappointment, if there has been, is because there is a temptation to compare the outcome with the exit polls. It's a psychological issue, but I think that happens often. That if the exit polls say you're going to do this well, and you end up doing not so well, then it seems as a big disappointment. Some of that apparently has come in today. But I think overall, I would say that in Haryana, there was, from all accounts, the BJP did not, the efficient electoral machine of the BJP, which is legendary by now, wasn't that much in evidence.
Why not?
I'm not terribly sure as to why it didn't happen, but I would think that there is a problem with the party leadership in the
No, but then why is it? And I want to show you what Jaiprakash Nadda has tweeted moments before now. He says, हरियाणा के विकास के लिए श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के केंद्र नेतृत्व में एमएल खट्टर जी द्वारा किए गए कार्यों पर भरोसा दिखाने के लिए प्रदेश की जनता का आभारी हूं। मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि हम हरियाणा की जनता की सेवा और उनके विकास के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे। सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बधाई। So he is saying the same thing that Amit Shah did, essentially suggesting that Khattar will continue to be chief minister. Is this not an opportunity to reflect on the fact that there is clearly anger, especially in rural Haryana, and this is an opportunity to change the CM?
No, I don't think changing the CM is going to be. I don't think necessarily it's an anger against the CM. There is nothing specifically Haryanvi about the rural problems of rural distress. There's nothing specifically Haryanvi about industrial slowdown. These are things which cut across states. So I think to make a scapegoat of ML Khattar is not probably prudent under the circumstances.
What are the lessons you think the BJP should learn from this verdict?
I think the lessons basically is that when you expand in a state where you haven't had a traditional base, I think that expansion needs to be much more carefully monitored than was hitherto done. I think probably the defeat of so many ministers suggests
more than half the cabinet is trailing.
Exactly. So is that there must have been a lot of ministerial swagger which was unwarranted, and I think which got punctured in the process.
Okay,
so there is a problem of that sort of style which...
We've got live images. Aditya Thackeray is getting set to address a press conference. Sandeep Shastri, I want to bring you in. At the end of the day, the scoreline still reached 2-0 in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's a moral defeat maybe for the government, the BJP government. Okay, Aditya Thackeray, I'm told, is speaking. Let's just listen to him for a moment.
उद्धव साहेबांच्या आशीर्वादाने अर्थात माझे आजोबा हिंदू हृदय सम्राट बाळासाहेब ठाकरेंच्या आशीर्वादाने सगळे शिवसैनिकांच्या आशीर्वादाने प्रेमाने जो मी निर्णय घेतला त्याला आज यश मिळालेलं आहे सगळ्याच वर्णीकरांनी मला घवघवीत यश दिलेलं आहे मला वाटतं ही खूप मोठी गोष्ट आहे मी सगळ्यांचेच आभार मानीन आज निवडणूक झाल्यानंतर मुख्यतः सगळे मतदारांसोबत सगळेच पोलीस बळ
Okay, the Congress is 30 seats in Haryana, which is more than many in the Delhi, and the Congress also thought they'd get. But at the end of the day, Sandeep Shastri, the scoreline reads BJP 2, opposition 0.
Now, I think we need to also keep in mind that prior to this election, there was this expectation that the BJP would win both the seats. Therefore, the victory is something that people would take on the ground. But I think the more critical question which Swapan also raised, the type of expectations that were raised in these two states. Now, people would compare the result to that expectation. And I think taking, in both the states, you take the Haryana case, if the BJP has dropped to 40 seats and many of its ministers are trailing, I think it raises the question as to whether in the 5 years in power, the BJP government in Haryana is suffering from a small anti-incumbency.
Those are visuals of BJP President Amit Shah reaching the BJP headquarters, and we touched upon this theme earlier in the day about whether Amit Shah being Home Minister and all the work that he's doing on Article 370, the NRC, etc., is taking him away from some of the organizational work that he would have done. And this would become a bigger factor for the BJP post-December when he is no longer BJP President and Nadda comes in, because as we've seen, the vote percentage in Haryana actually came down, Shankar, from the last election, and many in the BJP and our poll also found that the extra mobilization that happens usually tends to benefit the BJP in a ratio of 2/3 is to 1/3. 2/3 of the extra voters in the last few elections have actually voted for the BJP. So when their voter stays at home, it's actually troublesome for the BJP, and they couldn't mobilize them in the same way.
Well, very clearly the choice of Nadda and Nadda himself will have to see with how well he can fit the supersized shoes of Amit Shah. I mean, Amit Shah has set a track record that is hard for most people to achieve. And JP Nadda, by most accounts, is not the super specialist in elections or in politics.
Okay, let me ask Swapan Dasgupta about that, because he's a good guy. There's nothing particularly wrong with him, but he's no Amit Shah. And with the kind of expectations you have from a BJP president now, Nadda will have a tough time keeping up.
You know, when Amit Shah was appointed, some people said, oh, he's no Advani. You know, so Amit Shah grew into...
No, but Amit Shah was appointed, sir, with respect, on the back of the big victory in Uttar Pradesh, and he grew into the role. And even if you look at their personalities, they're very, very different. Okay.
They're very different personalities. You know, Nadda is far more convivial. He's less sort of... I mean, he's not so forthright sometimes as Amit Shah, but Amit Shah is very, very effective. I mean, having worked with him, I can sort of vouch for the fact that, you know, he does inspire and he does motivate and he certainly does drive people. And his analytical capabilities are very, very sharp. So Nadda will obviously have to, how they're going to do it. But I think the larger issue which really has to be is that what, in my view, what happened in Haryana is not unique. If you're not careful, in various states where your growth is very recent, you will face the same sort of problem. And I'm very, very struck by the fact that the number of ministers who've lost, what does it mean? It was a personal vote against the ministers. If it was a vote, resounding vote against the Khattar government, I think you would have not seen 40. In Haryana, there was a track record of parties dropping to as low as 10. I mean, we saw it in the 80s and things like that. So that would have happened. It hasn't happened like that. So learn the right lessons from what it is. There's a certain element of modesty which you must, I mean, you must be able to imbibe the lessons. If the electorate has given you half a cake, realize why you got half.
You know, zor ka jhatka dheere se lage, less hubris, more humility. Is that the message? They didn't want to topple them over, but they wanted to put them in their place. That's BJP President Amit Shah now at the BJP headquarters. He's smiling. Nadda flanks him. Nitin Gadkari there, he put out a statement congratulating the BJP party workers for these victories. Hey, remember what happened in Gujarat? 99 versus 91, lots of fuss about how they didn't do particularly well. In the end, they've got a government ensconced very firmly, and they're running the state. So it's a moral defeat maybe for the BJP in some senses, a moral victory in some senses for the opposition. But at the end of the day, Sandeep Shastri, you look at the scoreline.
And there is no doubt on that at the end of the day, you are going to see in all probability a BJP government in Haryana and of course the BJP-led government in Maharashtra. But as has been said on the channel, there are important lessons for all parties which need to be learnt in this election. I think for the BJP in Haryana, the fact that the electorate in India increasingly makes the distinction between national elections and state elections is visible. The BJP got a huge, it swept the state in the parliament elections in Haryana, and in the assembly elections a few months later you see this result. So therefore, the performance of a state government is equally critical when you come to a state election.
No,
And
the other thing that we'll talk about when we come back from a very quick break is, you know, you can talk about nationalism, the NRC, Bangladeshis being termites, etc., etc. It doesn't have as much resonance in a state election. People want to focus on issues that matter to them. जैसे हमने मोदी जी को दे दिया देश सुधारने के लिए, अब हमें बताओ हमारी बिजली पानी सड़क का क्या करना है. Those are the issues which in a state like Jharkhand, in a state like Delhi, where elections are due next, will become critical. We'll slip into a break. We'll have more for you when we come back on the other side. Stay with us.